Come on. Look at that.
Oh, she's so cute.
Meron ni festival doon. Oh. If
For the health and safety of everyone, face coverings must fully cover your nose and mouth and be worn at all times, except when actively eating or drinking while stationary. Wash your hands often and thoroughly. Cover your mouth and nose when
we're
coughing
here
and
in
sneezing,
Africa.
and maintain
This is
physical
Africa,
distancing.
Daddy?
Thank you for your cooperation.
This is Africa now? Yeah. We're here in Africa. Huh? You need fun? Okay.
Everybody is Jumbo. Welcome and hello. As your board can get settled, folks, take a look above your head. You'll see our handy animal spotting guide. Contains every animal we may see out there on Harambe Wildlife Reserve. We won't see them all due to migration patterns, but we normally have pretty good luck.
Feel better, baby?
Also, folks, we ask you please maintain your face coverings over both the ball of your nose and your bottom lip at all times. This is for your safety, the safety of those around you, and the safety of those who may sit in that seat after you. Tightly.
I'm the mom.
What?
Our folks, off to our right,
Daddy,
as we entered Little Cherry Forest, I actually see
Africa.
a couple of okapi. Based on the white stripes on their legs, you may think the okapi are related to the zebra. They're actually the only known relatives of the giraffe. Top of the head, they also have the same long prehensile tongue as the giraffe, as well as 7 vertebrae in the neck. The okapi just never needed the super long neck of the giraffe.
Yeah.
Western civilization actually believed the okapi was a myth until about 1901. Now, folks, as we make the trip female, because they do not have horns and are gathered together in a group. Male kudu will have horns and will typically be solitary. I'm also seeing some bongo, who are normally so reclusive they're known as the ghosts of the forest. You may notice their horns are bent back at extreme angles. This makes it easier for them to run through brush and trees without getting their horns caught in the branches. Off to our left, folks, I'm actually seeing a black rhino snoozing against the rock wall.
Yeah.
They are typically corpuscular, most active early in the morning and late in the afternoon, so it's no surprise to see him snoozing away right now. They're actually the smaller of the 2 rhino species we may see out here on Harambe, but still come in at a respectable 3,000 pounds. Unfortunately, that size does little to deter poachers, as some people still believe that rhino horn has medicinal and magical properties. It's actually made of keratin, the same material we would find in our hair and fingernails. Black rhino also typically prefer to be solitary and be off by themselves. A few more bongo on our left, folks. Now, folks, Little Cherry Forest was actually a pretty nice forest. Let's see if the next area does the same. Also, folks, a couple things to keep in mind as we continue along. There are many of you. There is one of me. You may see some things I missed. That's one of the reasons you have the handy animal spotting guide above your heads. Also, one final time, as a reminder, please maintain your face coverings over both the point of your nose and your bottom lip at all times for your safety, the safety of those around you, and the safety of those who may sit in that seat after you. Our next area is Safi River, where water is of vital importance like the African wilderness, and many animals could not survive without it. If you take a look off to your right into the water, through the bushes, you may see a hippo down there in the water. A group of hippo would be known as a bloat of hippo. The word hippopotamus actually means water or river horse, and although they can swim and are quite good at it, they actually prefer to walk or run along the bed of the body of water that they live in. They also hold their breath for an impressive 5 to 8 minutes. If you missed that hippo, folks, take a look off to your left. You may see a few more, a full bloat, actually. Hippos spend most of their time in the water, only coming out normally at night, at which time they may travel about 15 miles away from their normal watery home in search of food.
Huh?
I'm also seeing several large white birds out there, folks. Those are pink-backed pelicans. If you notice any of them waggling the pouch underneath their bill, they're attempting to stay cool by doing that. They actually get their name from a distinctive pink patch they get on their backs during their mating season, and they're also colonial nesters. You may see as many as 500 pelican nests all in the same area.
Oh, there's nothing there. Look, baby.
Oh, folks, definitely make sure you stay seated here because on our left I'm seeing several Nile crocodile. These are actually the second largest crocodilians in the world. Normally average about 16 to 20 feet long, but sometimes as large as 22 feet. They actually have one of the most impressive closing forces in the animal kingdom, with a downward bite force of over 2,000 psi of pounds per square inch.
Yeah.
By comparison, the force of opening their mouths is actually much, much weaker, as a full-grown man could actually hold a Nile crocodile's jaws shut by grasping both on the end of the snout. However, I would not recommend trying this, as if you fail, you will not only look foolish, you will once again be facing 2,000 pounds of closing bite force. And now, folks, I see that we're once again, that we are exiting the Safi, and the brush and trees are starting to thin out, so we must be heading to the African savanna, the grasslands. As we enter the savanna, folks, take a look off to your right. You may see a rather large and unusual looking tree known as a baobab. Believe it or not, it can take about 1,000 years for a baobab to reach that size. It is actually unusual because it is leafless 8 to 9 months out of the year, making it look like a church up top and earning it the nickname the upside down tree. According to a local legend, when the god of creation was filling Africa up with all the plants and animals that currently live there, he reached into his sack one final time and found one last tree, the baobab. Not being entirely sure what to do with this final tree, he simply decided to chuck it backwards over his shoulder. According to the legend, the baobab landed upside down and has been upside down ever since. Now, folks, keep in mind this is a wild animal reserve, which means the animals could be anywhere, and we'll have to keep our eyes peeled to find them. Off to our right, I'm actually seeing a full dazzle of Hartmann's mountain zebra. I should call a group of zebra a dazzle. We can tell these are Hartmann's mountain zebra because they have the thick stripes towards their back and the thin stripes towards their face. And the age-old question, is the zebra black with white or white with black? Take a look at the nose, the only area without hair. You'll see it's a black nose, therefore it's a black zebra with white stripes. Now, folks, off on our left, I'm actually seeing several African wild dogs, also known as painted dogs, roaming around the grass. Their coat patterns actually earn them their second name, and each pattern is actually unique to each animal, almost like a fingerprint is to you or me. Although painted dogs look like our normal dogs, they're actually a completely different animal family, having only 4 toes on each foot and chirping each other instead of barking. Now, folks, off on our left, I'm actually seeing a sable antelope very close to us. They were actually chosen as the symbol for Harambe Wildlife Reserve because when it comes to fight or flight, they will always choose to fight to protect their herd from predators, just as we fight to protect animals from extinction. Those curved back horns are actually perfect for sweeping a predator off their back. I've also seen several of the smallest antelope in the world, the springbok. Believe it or not, those are fully grown springbok. They only get about 2.5 to 3 feet tall, but have an impressive jumping ability. It will jump about 6 to 8 feet straight up in the air or 13 feet forward. There's also several gray animals known as wildebeest. They get their name from the Afrikaans word for wild beast. They're also sometimes known as gnu, G-N-U, after a new sound they sometimes make. About once a year, a herd of about 1.5 million wildebeest will actually join together to go about 1,000 miles together in one of the largest migratory groups and migration distances of any land animal.
Lion King.
Now, folks, off on our left, you may not be able to see their heads, but you can definitely see their bodies. I see a couple of Patterson's eland. The large gray one is the male, while the tan ones are the females. The male is actually one of the largest antelope in the world, hitting about 6 feet tall at the shoulder. He'll actually do something rather interesting. He'll actually run his horns through brush, grass, and flowering plants and let it all sit up on his head, and it's known as a flower crown. He does this to entice the females. And coming up on our right, you may get another view of those Hartman's Mountain Zebra. You may notice that one of them looks much smaller than the rest. Believe it or not, a newborn zebra can actually run full speed with its dazzle within 15 to 30 minutes of being born. I also see a bit of a straggler wildebeest. Now folks, off to our right, I'm actually seeing a few more springbok. It gives you an idea of just how tiny they are, as well as several Ankoli cattle, also known as Watusi cattle, after the first African tribe that was able to domesticate them. Those giant horns may look pretty heavy, but they're actually only about 5 to 10 pounds apiece. The springbok is actually so popular in Africa that many professional sports teams use them as a mascot. Now folks, off to our left, I'm seeing a full tower of Maasai giraffe. I should call a group of giraffe a tower. We can tell these are the Maasai variety of giraffe because they have the dark, jagged, irregular pattern to their skins. You may notice these two front ones using their very long tongues to reach the leaves up into the tall trees. Believe it or not, that tongue can reach about 18 inches long. For reference on that, go from the tip of your elbow to the tip of your middle finger. That's about how long the giraffe's tongue is. In addition to the long tongue and the impressive height, which starts off about 6 feet tall when they're first born and can reach 24 feet tall by the time they're fully grown, giraffes have one other large thing they're known for. They actually have the highest blood pressure of any land animal, which they need to get the blood all the way up their neck to their head.